students who are able to express basic cause and effect relationships but struggle to answering cause and effect questions when it comes to a text? Do you wonder if you should even be working on cause and effect in your speech room? Hi, I am Hallie Sherman from Speech Time Fun, your speech language pathologist that is here to help you plan with ease and confidence when it comes to working with your older speech students. And today I'm going to be talking all about working on cause and effect with your older speech students. And as you can see on the screen here, I have Bloom's taxonomy verbs on the screen. I love using Bloom's taxonomy as a hierarchy to help me determine what to work on and when with my older speech students. Teachers are expected to use all levels in their classroom in one lesson. But we know as SLPs that our students are not going to be able to get to the creating level if they are still struggling with the remembering level. Okay, so as you can see here, remembering is like your basic WH questions, basic recall. If our students cannot recall what they just heard or read, they're not going to be able to do some higher level thinking skills that are expected in the classroom. We know that, right? So as you can see here, under applying is experimenting and judging and examining, and that is where I believe cause and effect falls in. So once our students can do basic recall, they can grasp main idea and summarizing, then we can look at can they experiment and judge and recognize cause and effect relationships within a text. Okay, our students need to understand text structure in order to be able to see the relationship in itself. Okay, and we can work on that in the basic level, as you can see here. Let me now hide that. Okay, so as you can see here, we can work on, as you can see, I love using, there we go. Okay, well, it was there. I love using Jamboard to work on just basic pictures and relationships, and you can use anything to do so. As you can see, as you saw before, I got logged out, which I was just logged in. You can use basic visuals. I love using Jamboard to have those sticky notes to teach them, okay, it's the if and then relationship. They're not going to be able to see it in a text if they don't have it grasped at the picture level. And that is why I have in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, let me get the right visual up for you. In my Teachers Pay Teacher store, I have this visual and this resource where it's cause and effect at the picture level. I have picture cards, and I also have a resource where it's just picture worksheets. But for today, I'm just showing you these pictures where you can work on the basic relationships and getting them familiar with hearing the questions that they might see in a text. Okay. And I'm all about keeping things visual and giving our students a strategy to take that cognitive overwhelm away from them and see, okay, what is expected of me and how do I become successful? So cause, why did it happen? Which was first? Those are the types of questions you might see. And here are some vocabulary terms you might see. Because, since, due to the fact. And then effect. What happened? What was the result? So first and then, if, that, one, first, second, before, after, and teaching our students those different vocabulary concepts. And then you can see here, I have just different, and then of course using graphic organizers again to make it visual so they can see, so they can plan out their thoughts and be able to be successful. And there we go. We have all these different pictures to practice at the picture level so our students can grasp the concepts, have tons of opportunities to practice, hear those questions. Okay, am I asked for the cause? Am I asked for the effect? And what vocabulary words should I utilize in my answer? If they can't do it about a picture, they're not going to be able to do it about a text, which of course we all know is much more language rich and has a lot more vocabulary and other things involved that can cause them to struggle and have some challenges along the way. So, okay, so again, teaching them the vocabulary, if, and then, and what question stems you might see for cause questions, what words you might hear in a effect question, and the words they can utilize in their answers. Okay, or words they might see again in a text to help them realize, oh, there is a cause and effect relationship. So again, I'm all about utilizing a visual so they can refer back to it so it's not so overwhelming. They can, when they get a text like I have here in my cause and effect stories, they can refer back to it and say, oh, I see some of those vocabulary terms in that visual, and I now know what to do. So, okay, in this resource, I'm very scaffolded so that you can easily see, okay, cause and effect, you can fill it out, But if that's too challenging for them and they're not sure what to complete a graphic organizer with, I have for you all the answers here, so it can be a cut and paste activity. And then, of course, I have practice comprehension questions to utilize the graphic organizer. They can see, okay, I have the visual, so I know the cause and effect relationship and what's being asked of me. I have the answers here, so I know how to complete the graphic organizer, or I can use it to check their answers. And then here are some comprehension questions, and I can use that visual to see, okay, are they asking me for the cause? Am I asking for the effect? And I'm going to now look back at the graphic organizer to know where to look. And we always want to model our thinking about our thinking. So you might want to do like number one yourself and say, okay, watch what I do as I answer these questions. But say, okay, you're like, okay, my students are not ready for a text. And I get it. My students sometimes they get it at the picture level, but when you throw a text at them, it's like, uh-oh, what are you showing me? Well, I love using Edpuzzle for that purpose. So you have a more language-rich activity, but it's more visual. Videos are just more motivating. So sometimes it's just a great way to go from the picture to now a video. And I love using preheated. It's a cute video, so motivating, and just students are just wanting to know what's going to happen. There's so much predicting. You can work on so many different goals. But I love creating an Edpuzzle specific to some of these goals, ready to go. That's always available in my Edpuzzle library. So again, I embedded all different cause and effect questions, various points in the video, and they can refer back to the visual and say, oh, is that a cause question or an effect question? And then they have to answer it before moving on to the next part of the video. So I highly recommend, one, checking out this video because it's super cute, motivating, especially if you have students who love science. And when we think of science, I think of cause and effect, right? That something's going to happen and something's going to happen as a result. And of course, you can always then tap into some prefixes and suffixes like preheated. What does that mean? Some pre-literacy things before then. This Edpuzzle. So Elevate. So Edpuzzle library is not a part of Elevate. However, I always share inside of Elevate some Edpuzzles if it is related to the theme of the month. So I have some Edpuzzles I'll be sharing this month with this month's theme, but this one is not necessary. And I do share and Elevate some baseline Edpuzzles and things like that. I'm always sharing in the Facebook group. I'm happy to just share a link right inside there if you ask for it. So hopefully that answers that question. But this one I wanted to show. This is my personal. People have found my Edpuzzle library. So feel free to if you type in preheated cause and effect, you'll probably find it and see my name. And just click copy and add to your library. That's my little hint and trick that people have told me that they have found. Since they see the name of how I labeled it, they can easily find exactly the the video. But as you can see here, there's tons of opportunities to practice within the video, teaching cause and effect and looking at the question stems and responding in a complete answer, utilizing the cause and effect vocabulary. Again, the more opportunities to practice, it becomes more natural, more innate, and not as overwhelming. We want our students to become more and more familiar with it so that when they, in the classroom, they're not necessarily working on cause and effect in isolation. They're getting a text from News ELA or from whatever from a novel that they're reading in class, and they're getting a question and they have to know, oh, I see some therefore or beforehand or as a result. And when they see those words, we want them to trigger, oh, there must be a cause and effect relationship. Now let me look back to see if I can find it. Let me see if something happened first and something happened to result. We want to teach them to, when they see those vocabulary words in a question, it can trigger them to be like, oh, there must have been a cause and effect relationship. If they didn't see that text structure on their own, and then they can go back and look back to see if something had happened and something happened as a result. And even tapping into sometimes their background knowledge, because sometimes it might be inferred and not necessarily always explicitly stated in the text. Okay, so again, I like utilizing, to review, I have a lot of tabs open. I like using a visual to make it clear what is expected of them. Then I like utilizing a graphic organizer to, again, show them exactly what is expected of them and how to map out their thoughts. I also like using scaffolding of giving them the answers and teaching them how to, okay, was that a cause and effect before they have to find the answers on their own. Our students don't always, we can't just give them a graphic organizer and expect them to be successful. We have to teach them how to utilize it and how it's going to help them. So sometimes giving them the answers to help them visually see how to complete a graphic organizer is a great way to teach our students the benefits of it and how and what is expected of them to utilize it, and always teaching them to refer back to the graphic organizer and the visual to help them. We can't just place it on the table and expect them to know to look back. We have to model our thinking about our thinking, say, oh, I see this and I see this on the visual there, therefore I'm going to put this in the graphic organizer here. This way it's going to help me when I get a question to know where to look to help me be successful. And then you can work on utilizing an ed puzzle to practice answering cause and effect questions. And then once they are ready and much more confident, you can then work on the story level. And again, teaching them to look for those cause and effect relationships, look back in the text, look for those keywords that's going to help them recognize when there's a cause and effect relationship going on. And if they need it, I hope I hit the right button. And then, of course, the scaffolding there to teach them to either check their answers or what is expected of them to complete the graphic organizer at the text level and practice comprehension questions to then refer back to the graphic organizer to know how to answer them. Okay, so tons and tons of opportunities to practice, but recognizing one, also, are your students ready for this level of comprehension? And then you want to make sure they get it at the picture level. You want to do it at the video level and then maybe paragraph level before you even get to the full text level. So I hope you found this helpful. I'm here going live every week to provide videos for you so that you can get more confident and ideas for the various comprehension and language and vocabulary and speech goals for your older speech students. All these videos are going to be on my YouTube channel, so you can always refer to it at whenever you need it throughout the school year, because I am here to help you be the best SLP you can be. So have a great day, and I will see you live next week.